All right, let's talk AI. Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside the so-called brain of a machine? I mean, it can feel a little bit like magic, right? Well, it's not. And today we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the surprisingly simple way that these things actually learn. So, let's just dive right in with the big one, the question on everyone's mind. Is artificial intelligence, actually intelligent, like in the way a person is? Well, before we can even begin to tackle that, we've got to get on the same page about what AI really is, and, just as importantly, what it isn't. And here's the crazy part. You're already interacting with AI all day, every day. You might not even realize it. That movie Netflix just recommended? Yep, that's AI. Asking Siri or Alexa for the weather? That's AI too. When Facebook automatically suggests tagging your friend in a photo, or your email magically filters out all that junk mail? All of it. AI. It's just so woven into the fabric of our lives now that we hardly even notice it's there. Okay, so to really get a grip on how this stuff works, we need to clear up one of the biggest, most common points of confusion out there. You hear people throw around the terms AI and machine learning like they're the same thing, right? Well, they're not at all. So let's break it down and build a super simple blueprint to understand the difference between the goal and the method. All right, first up, artificial intelligence, or AI. The easiest way to think about AI is as the big, grand idea. It's the destination, the what we're trying to achieve. It's this huge, overarching goal of creating machines that can simulate human intelligence. Things like solving problems, recognizing faces, or understanding what we say. Okay, so if AI is the big dream, then machine learning, or ML, is one of the main ways we're actually making it happen. It's the how. See, the old school way of doing things was to have programmers write millions of lines of code with super specific handwritten rules for every single possible situation. But with machine learning, we do something totally different. We just show the machine a ton of examples and let it figure out the patterns for itself. It learns from the data instead of from a rule book. So let's put it all together with a simple analogy. Think of AI as the destination you want to reach. Let's say the city of smart machines. Machine learning is one of the most powerful vehicles you can use to get there. It's the car you're driving on that journey. And this is the key thing to remember. Machine learning is a method to achieve AI. It's a subset of AI, not the other way around. So how does this whole learning from examples thing actually work in practice? I know, it sounds super complicated, right? But the core idea, the fundamental recipe for teaching a machine pretty much anything, boils down to a surprisingly simple three-step loop. And here it is, the machine learning loop. It's really just 3 steps. Step 1, you gather data, and we're talking lots of examples. Step 2, you train the model. This is where the machine just churns through all that data, looking for patterns. And finally, step 3, you test and refine it. You see how well it did, and then you improve it, which usually means, going back to step 1 and getting more data. It's this constant cycle, gather, train, test, over and over again. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this stuff concrete. Let's imagine that you and I, right now, are going to build our own simple AI from scratch. So what's our project? We're going to build a bot that can look at a picture of a hand and know if it's playing rock, paper, or scissors. So our mission is pretty straightforward, right? We need to teach our model to recognize 3 distinct hand gestures: a fist for rock, a flat hand for paper, and the 2-finger V for scissors. Simple enough. So think back to that 3-step loop we just talked about. Where do we begin? We start with step 1, gathering the data. And listen, I really can't overstate this. This is the most important part of the entire process. The data you feed your model is, and I mean this literally, everything. It's the secret ingredient. It's what will make your AI brilliant or completely useless. So let's really think this through. To teach our bot what rock looks like, what if we just took, say, 100 pictures of my hand, making a fist right here in this one room with this exact lighting? What do you think is going to happen the first time it sees someone else's hand, a different hand, under totally different lights? Yeah, it's going to fail, almost guaranteed. Why? Because the model didn't learn what rock looks like in general. No, it just learned what my hand looks like when it's making a fist. That's why the absolute key here isn't just about the quantity of data, it's about the variety. You need hundreds, even thousands of photos of all different hands, different skin tones, from every possible angle and all kinds of lighting. That's what builds a smart, robust AI. And this brings us to probably the most important takeaway of this whole thing. It's a crucial reality check. Because Even if you had the best, most diverse data set in the entire world, there is one fundamental truth you have to accept about every single AI model ever built. And it's this: a model is only as good as the data it's trained on. See, a machine learning model doesn't know anything in the human sense. It has no common sense, no outside context. Its entire universe, its entire understanding of reality, is limited to the specific data we showed it. That's it. Its world begins and ends with those examples. This is such a critical point to understand. Because its reality is built only from the training data, it naturally inherits any limitations, any gaps, any biases that were in that data to begin with. The model simply cannot know what it hasn't been shown. So if your data set is incomplete, or if it's skewed in some way, the model's decisions will be skewed too. This means no AI can ever be perfectly objective, because no data set is ever a perfect, unbiased snapshot of the real world. And that brings us full circle, back to another big question. We've seen that AI learns by finding patterns in the data we give it. And that data, well, it's a snapshot of our world, created by us. So the thought I really want to leave you with is this: if these powerful models are learning from our examples, what biases and limitations from our own world are we teaching them, maybe without even realizing it?